At the Leadership Foundation, we are the all-round providers for governor development in higher education. Providing effective governance within the higher education sector is something everyone's talking about. Being able to identify your strengths, along with areas for improvement on specific governance tasks, can be crucial. Especially now that you've been invited to chair the Finance and Resources Committee, Jo.
Well, it hasn't always been that way, has it, Andrew?
I still remember when you first joined our board and those early, anxious conversations we had about your responsibilities as a governor.
I've been on various boards for commercial companies, but making the transition to a world of publicly accountable bodies, swapping shareholders for stakeholders, especially in relation to universities, was something completely new to me.
There are definitely some key differences, but you're trying to be professional and it can be difficult to ask the simple questions. It's the same for staff and student governors, as well as people from the outside. Finding the right balance and learning the rules and etiquette of the board can take some time.
Well, that's one of the reasons that the Leadership Foundation self-assessment tool was so useful back then. It was critical to my development as a governor, and still is today.
It provides a frame of reference for you and your colleagues on the governing body, a guide to aid in the discussion of the things you need to know. It contains a set of questions which relate to your experiences and capabilities as a governor, what you know about higher education, and the general workings of the board, particularly issues around risk and all forms of sustainability.
It was really useful for mapping my skills, both the positives and what I might need to build on in terms of higher education familiarity during my time as a governor.
And it really helped us to have conversations about how we could help you to develop those skills, whether that was to set up an initial induction or be brave and venture onto an outside programme to meet other people, gain intelligence and good practice from elsewhere.
The thing that really impressed me was that I found myself going back to use the tool again. My needs might have changed, but by completing the questions again and talking to our chair, I was able to reassess my development needs.
Exactly. You'd got the basics down and were familiar with the etiquette, and now it was time to network and share experiences. Meeting other governors is great because it makes it much easier to gauge your own development in relation to your peers. That's how you acquire more specialist knowledge to really become an effective governor. The tool was able to advise you on appropriate learning and networking opportunities through a calendar of Governor Development Programme events from the Leadership Foundation. These, along with their readily available web resources and regular updates on governance, help to address gaps in your profile based on your personal development needs.
My confidence within the committee had really improved as I continued to develop my skills and knowledge. It wasn't too long before I was challenging the Vice-Chancellor after scrutinising our national student survey data and actively contributing to debates about league tables. I was beginning to understand what really matters when it comes to the student experience today. I'll always have good memories of how it was for me, but now it's different. This helps me appreciate the needs and expectations of a very diverse group of students today, and this is really important.
Nowadays, we all know we can count on you to support the Vice-Chancellor in a public setting, to talk confidently about our ethos and vision to people on the outside. But you must be really happy now you've developed your knowledge so thoroughly. That, along with your natural gravitas and people skills, makes you a brilliant ambassador for our institution.
It's not like I've stopped using the self-assessment tool either. Referencing the fantastic resource guide from time to time helps me to understand the risks facing the university and how they can be managed most effectively.
And with new board members always just around the corner, being familiar with the tool, even when you feel confident in your own abilities, can be really useful.
Especially when it comes to discussing the needs of any governor I might buddy on the board, whether from inside the university or a new external governor, someone who might be using the tool for the first time and is new to the whole experience.
It's safe to say that wherever you are in your development journey as a governor, if you're just beginning your term of service or if you are highly experienced, the self-assessment tool will help you to decide on the best way forward.